If you take one thing out of this video, it's this: Vegas is going to get more expensive by 2026. I would suggest you book your vacations now, and I have a reason for it that nobody else is talking about. Today in this video, we're going to go and explain how there's a secret rot happening in visitorship numbers, one that nobody ever addresses out here in Vegas, and how it's going to contribute to you having more expensive price increases coming down the line when it comes to gaming, to shows, to hotel stays, and it has nothing to do with inflation. My name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. We're at the top of the world. Well, the third floor of the Fashion Show Mall. Great views up here, and if you take a look, we're going to be talking about international destinations. Heck, we got the Venetian down here. I got Caesar's Palace representing Italy. And a little further down, of course, Vegas has the Luxor with Egypt, Excalibur with England. And it's these places, plus Canada and Mexico, they're going to cause all of this inflation for your next Vegas vacation. This is like the creepy Chernobyl part of Vegas. This used to be the sugar factory, and they just have this whole area with prime retail space that is completely just not leased, not in good repair either. There's shattered broken glass on these walls up here. Look at the shattered glass here. This is insanity. You think they would fix this? And this huge place that should be leased, that's just sitting vacant for well over a year. Great views from up here though, so it's definitely worth your while to come up. And I guess if you were doing wedding photos or something, this is the place to go. So why will it get more expensive in Vegas? Well, that comes down to international visitorship, a thing that nobody's really talking about right now. In January of 2025, more like February, international visitorship started to drop in Vegas. And I guess some people around the world take exception to the fact that we have a guy who's in charge right now in the White House who's decided that he wants to vet people coming into the country. And so it's a matter of opinion whether or not people are being discriminated against. But that, plus some comments on Canada becoming the 51st state, which I believe were just always tongue-in-cheek, have caused a lot of Canadians and international people to lose their ever-loving minds. People are listening to the media more than their common sense. And here we are talking about how this is going to cause your Vegas vacation to become far more expensive in the future. By the way, I might just bring out some alcoholic beverages one day and set up a makeshift bar right here. What do you think? Would you come to the Not Leaving Las Vegas bar? We have to go now because there is a guard behind me. I don't know if you can see him. And they don't look very happy. And there's another one right in front of me. This was a bad idea. I thought I had a good shot. There he is. Subscribe to the channel. Hey, what's up, bud?
Where'd you get that camera at, bro?
Best Buy.
Best Buy? How much?
Yes, sir. They're like $700.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Subscribe to the channel, because one of these days I'm going to get my ass arrested, and it's 108 degrees. All right. Let's look at Canada. What's up with Canada? Being that they're our biggest, friendliest place, how bad is it? And when you hear the stats, it's pretty bad. So look at this. You know there's police investigations going on out here because there is a pair of discarded police gloves. Welcome to Vegas 2025. Oh, Canada. So there's a lot of kind of division going on with Canada right now. I'm just speaking frank to you as a person who was born and raised in the true north, strong and free. A lot of Canadians are upset with Las Vegas, Donald Trump, anything America right now. The ones that aren't can't afford to come here. And that's just a matter of the Canadian economy maybe being a little weaker state than Vegas. How bad is it? What has it done to affect things? Well, listen to this. So of an overall 6 to 7% decline in international tourism, Vegas gets most of its visitors internationally from Canada. And by all accounts, visitation from Canadians is down anywhere between, I don't know, 13 to 20%, depending on the airline that you look at. WestJet, which is a big budget carrier that comes in directly from many cities, is down 17%. Meanwhile, you have Air Canada down 5%. That's a little bigger, nicer airline. And a company called Flair Airlines, which I never even heard of, they're down a whopping 55% in February alone. And then car traffic coming to the United States, which doesn't really affect Vegas all that much, down a staggering 32% in March. Like, this is costing a huge amount of financial damage to the city. So get this, I didn't know this, but people from Canada on average, they spend about $4,000 per trip to Vegas. $4,000. Like, can you even imagine that? How much do you spend on a trip to Vegas? Tell us in the comments below. That means that based on the math, there's been an average of 200 to 300,000 less Canadians coming in just so far in 2025. That accounts for $1.12 billion in lost revenue from Canadians, just from one single country. Can you see where this is leading? Can you see how these companies might try to get their money back? Let's look next at Mexico. But this part of the Strip is one of my favorite parts, and I want you guys to stop when you're here and make sure you come out here. This is the Esplanade entrance over at the Wynn Resort, and it is quite literally a good 10 degrees cooler. When I say it's 109, it's no lie. Like, it's 109 degrees right now. So throw me a subscription for even being out here before I melt away, because one thing that's not cool is how little people are coming here from Mexico. So Mexico accounts for actually a smaller fraction of travelers to the United States. You have to remember, by all accounts, Mexico is still a developing country with less people that are able to just pick up and go to the States. It's harder for them to come. They need visas versus Canadians that have an open visa with their passport. But Mexico still is going to account for, what, $600 million on average coming to Vegas. So far, where does that put us? $2.5 billion. And that's not even to mention the people coming from the European Union. And until you hear about those stats, it doesn't really add up. And when you do hear about those stats, you see how there is a meltdown happening. Because you see, while you might come into Vegas and spend your money, international tourists are coming in and spending up to, on average, 3 times more than you. And because these international tourists collectively from a global audience make up 26% of all of the total tourism in the city, it means that the LVCVA, the Convention and Visitors Authority out here, has predicted that this dip in international tourists is inevitably going to cost the city millions and millions of dollars in taxpayer money. That taxpayer money goes to fuel everything out here, but it also goes, before it's taxpayer money, to fund these properties and keep their bottom line afloat. And if we know anything about corporations, it's about profits over people. So where are those new profits really going to come from? Hey, I'm doing a video for YouTube. Do you guys think Vegas is getting more expensive?
Absolutely.
Absolutely?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
North Carolina.
North Carolina, okay.
Yeah.
So you come here before? Is it cheaper before?
This is my first time here, but what I've heard
Okay.
is that it's a lot more expensive on the Strip, and Fremont Street is getting a lot more foot traffic now. So
Okay.
it seems like it's a lot. We're actually walking towards there now.
Okay.
But yeah, it just seems like it's very expensive on the Strip.
So yeah, there you have it, right? That's how the general sentiment out here. And if you guys want me to do more interview style stuff out here, let me know in the comments right now and subscribe to the channel. So yeah, when it comes down to it, you're just not as valuable, and they got to make that money from somewhere. For a long time, they were making all that money off of the United Kingdom and the European Union. What does that look like? So by far, the number one overseas market, people come into Vegas more than any others, are the United Kingdom. The UK has this strange kind of hypnotic affinity trance for Vegas, and I love every minute of it. Some of the nicest people I've met in this city are from the United Kingdom. And but they're down 14 to 15% as of March. And that sounds terrible until you realize that Spain, Germany, everywhere else in what they call the European Union, which the UK is not technically part of, they're down a staggering 24 to 26% based on the country. You gotta be careful because we got all these homeless folks out here that like to run at the camera. So we're just gonna walk real fast before we go filming ourselves again. If you've been following my truth-telling pieces on the channel, you might know some of this data, but let's have a refresher. The casinos are feeling it like this. Strip gaming, all the money that comes from slot machines and table games here, are down by 5% in March. It's a 14% drop in February, but we don't like to count February because last February we had, of course, the Super Bowl, which artificially inflated everything. Baccarat revenue has completely collapsed. In February, there was a 51% decline in Baccarat, which is Asian people mostly. I mean, you can call me a stereotypical racist, but my wife's from the Philippines, and she'll tell you they love them some Baccarat in the Southeast Asian region. And MGM and Caesars have reported year-over-year Strip revenue declines in the first quarter of 2025, and we'll see what the second quarter looks like for their books. Visitors are still coming, but it's not the ones that matter the most to the bottom lines of the casinos. And the hotel business is also feeling the same thing. I'm sure these showgirls are not getting the tips they would. What are you doing? Why are you honking at me? Stop it. Want to be on my video? Hey, I got showgirls. Are people tipping as much as they used to?
No.
No, legit. We're doing a thing on like if it's getting harder out here on this trip.
Yeah, tourism is down 20%. So,
Wow, your
yeah.
stats.
Not even that. I was telling her, I was talking to one of my friends that works at the souvenir place.
Yeah.
And they were saying too, like last month they're at like 75K for the month, and this month they were at like 15 or something, like
That's
3
crazy.
weeks into it.
Yeah, it's like the shows and everything else too.
That's crazy. So do you come out here all the time? Is this your full-time thing or what?
Mm-hmm.
Basically,
Okay.
more or less.
Beats working at the Walgreens, right?
Right.
Yeah.
How much should on average people tip? What's fair? I think 10, 20 bucks.
At least it's 20.
At least a 20.
Yeah.
I love it.
We don't see it all, that's why. So we just ask you guys to be nice.
What do you mean you don't see it all? What does that mean? I thought...
We just see a certain percentage.
Really?
Because we rent out our costumes and
No,
stuff.
I didn't know that.
I say like I would not like obviously we would like as generous as you want to be. I personally am grateful at the end of the day. We always say like a tip for each girl. Me personally, I'm like at the very least I'm like, can we do like 5 or 10 each, you know?
Right, as long as we
Like-
both see something.
Yeah,
Cool.
but just as generous as you can be type
Awesome.
thing.
Yeah, well, thanks for letting us be in your
Yeah.
video.
No
You have a
problem.
good day, okay?
You too. Real quick, what's your name?
Jay.
Jay?
A.
A?
Yeah.
J and A.
Angel.
All right, be good, be safe out there, okay?
Have a good one.
Yeah, so they said that it's not getting any better for them, and they gave us some more stats. So the hotel industry, we're just going to walk. Teslas have auto computers to not kill me, right? The hotels are down. Occupancy is down. It only sounds like a little bit, but from 83.4% to 82.5% between January and April of 2025. Average daily room rates have dipped 5%, but that could be a good thing. That might mean that there's some relief and some room deals on the way. But the restaurants and shops, everybody's kind of feeling it. Like those showgirls just said. We're told that a gift shop they know the owner of said 75K last month and 15K this month, and it's a pretty big drop, if you ask me. How's the future going to change for you? That's the main question, right? How's the future going to change, and what are you going to see going forward if you don't come here soon? That's where you got to think about your dollars and your cents. So simply put, when this kind of stuff happens, the casinos adapt in a few different ways. First thing they're going to do is they're going to make cuts, and they've already started doing this. I have a video in the works about all of the layoffs that have happened, the implications for the local economy and what it means for your service when you come to town. So you might subscribe for that. The second thing it means is things like venues that would usually be open being closed midweek. So if you do come here for those cheaper rates, you may not get the same experience as you had. Plus little tiny fees being bundled into things that you're not even thinking of. Maybe new live entertainment taxes and things put onto tickets. So really make sure that when you sit down at a restaurant and generously tip your server because you're a good person, that you make sure you're not paying a double tip on anything, because hidden fees get kind of lopped into that kind of stuff. Attractions like the gondola rides here are likely to go up in price. And at the end of the day, drinks, food, entertainment, all the things that can be high profit margin items end up increasing. So what does this all mean for you? It means that you should probably book your vacation to come to Vegas soon, because even though room rates will be dropping, the nickel and diming isn't going to be stopping anytime soon. And if you're wondering about the change of scenery, we had to snap our fingers and zap ourselves magically into the Venetian because my camera died in the 109-degree heat. But if you are one of those international travelers, I urge you to come to Vegas. Because look, it's probably not that more expensive than wherever you're coming from. And if you do decide to, get the guts to international travel into the States and put your politics aside, you're going to be getting some of the better room rates, I think, that we've had in the last few years as international travelers cause room rates to drop so we can lure in domestic people living in the United States. This is only going to benefit you, so don't let a person who's in office right now determine your memories for the future, and enjoy a Vegas vacation at a better room rate per night. We're at the #1 lobby, I think, in the history of lobbies over here at Venetian Palazzo. Definitely worth seeing. Everybody comments on the Kubert style floor. This floor comes from, it's modeled after the Vatican in Italy. but it sure looks cool. If you guys want to support the channel and get more content on a regular basis, videos that are so taboo I can't even put them on my channel for risk of losing my YouTube channel and getting content strikes, check out Patreon. You'll see the people in the credits. You'll get your name on the credits, just like the folks next to me right here. It's nllvcontact.com/Patreon. We do over an hour of content every single month extra for you right there. Post up extra photos. We have a contest going where you can win a $225 neck fan cooler that I'll ship to you. Yeah, it's a good way to support the channel. And you'll find a playlist also next to my head about the real economic situation in Vegas. This is what makes me casino enemy number one. I bring you the truth about how these corporations act and how they're anti-consumer in a lot of cases. If you're just browsing through, my name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. Thank you for being the best part of my day. We post videos every week, and we post live streams too, where we don't stop bringing you the real deal on the Las Vegas Strip. Now's the time of the video where I say 3, 2, 1, click. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, and click!